Alright, good morning everybody. Today we'll continue the chapter A Beautiful Mind. Okay, so what was there in the chapter? The chapter is all about the biography of Albert Einstein. Okay, Albert Einstein was a great scientist. Okay, and since beginning, only since his childhood, he loved mathematics. He was a genius of mathematics, and he also showed keen interest in physics. Okay, he was very much interested in those mechanical gadgets. All right, so this story is all about his journey, his childhood, how he disliked the school, how he had clashes with his teachers. Okay, let's continue from where we had ended. While Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling. Unraveling means failing. It was not under pace. Okay, he was very quick in all those mathematician problems, all those problem solutions related to physics, but his personal life was in trouble. Albert had wanted to marry Melvia right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. Okay, we had come to know that in college he met Melvia and he fell in love with her, but what happened that he had thought that after finishing the studies he is going to marry that girl, but what had happened, Albert's mother was against this marriage. She thought Melvia, who was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. Okay, children, this is a quite a laid back story. Okay, in those times, even still, this thing prevails that if a girl is few years elder than the boy, then parents really don't agree to that marriage. Okay, it is always supposingly that only the male member should be elder from the female one. So this was the problem which was coming. Melvia was 3 years older than Einstein. She was also bothered by Melvia's intelligence. She's a book like you. Einstein put the wedding off. Okay, we've come to know, we had read that Melvia also was very intelligent and clever girl. So this was the thing that her mother disliked, that if she'll be so clever, she'll rule, she'll dominate us. She didn't wanted that. All right. The pair finally married in 1903 and had 2 sons. Einstein decided to marry. He was very much in love. So without even his mother was disapproving the marriage, he decided to get married. But a few years later, the marriage faltered. Faltered means became weak, didn't work. Okay. Melvia, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. Okay, children, Melvia was also one kind of a girl. She really wanted to become something. She had that spark of life in her. All right, but this could not happen because as she had 2 sons. Okay, so this couldn't happen, and she was unhappy with that. Her ambitions, her goals, her dreams could not be fulfilled. So she was unhappy with this situation. After years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1919. Okay, the couple divorced. They didn't feel compatible. All right, they were unhappy in their marriage, so they called off the marriage. Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. Okay, now Einstein married second time, and his second wife was his very well cousin. Einstein's new personal chapter coincident with his rise to world fame. Coincidence means the same time. Coincidence. We meet someone, all of a sudden it's a coincidence. In 1915, he had published his general theory of relativity. Okay, still we learn this, children, in physics. General theory of relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity. Okay, what is gravity, children? Gravity is something like an apple is coming down from a tree. It's coming down, it's not going up. Okay, this is the force of gravitational. This is the gravitational pull. An eclipse of the sun in 1919 brought proof that it was accurate. Okay, now the eclipse of sun, the sun's movement proved that Einstein idea of relativity was very much correct. It was accurate. Einstein had correctly calculated in advance the extent to which the light from fixed stars would be deflected means changed, through the sun's gravitational field. Okay, now children, this was first people didn't believe him, but when they actually saw the reality that is happening in the universe, they were very much amazed, they were surprised. And Einstein became a star overnight. He became so popular, people started looking up to him. The newspapers proclaimed his work, okay, as a scientific revolution. All the newspapers were talking about him, okay, they were admiring his intelligence, okay, people were wanting to meet him, they wanting to have his intelligence, share his views. Einstein received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. Okay, he was showered with honors and invitation from all over the world and lauded by the press. Okay, he was so happy, he got so much appreciation, people honored him, invited him to come and meet them, to greet their students from all over the world. He was being praised and applauded. When the Nazis came to power in Germany in 1933, Einstein immigrated to the US. Immigrated means moved. He shifted, he settled in the US. Nazis rules happened in Germany. Okay, so what Einstein decided, he moved and shifted to United States. 5 years later, the discovery of nuclear fission in Berlin had Americans physicians in an uproar. Okay, now the new development, a new discovery was being held regarding the nuclear fission. They were in an uproar. Uproar means very tensed, upset. Many of them had fled from fascism. Fled means run away, just as Einstein had, and now they were afraid the Nazis could build and use an atomic bomb. Okay, children, so this Nazis rule was very bad. The people got very much scared, they wanted to save their lives. Okay, so due to the Nazis, the Germany, the few other countries were in trouble because their rule really harmed the people. Okay, they wanted to kill their lives, people wanted to save their lives. Now they were in an idea that if they had made an atomic bomb, then people will get dead from large scale. At the urging of a colleague, Einstein wrote a letter to the American President Franklin D. Roosevelt on August. Urging means motivation of a, urge means to motivate something, force something to do something. In which he warned a single bomb of this type exploded in a port might very well destroy the whole part together with some of the surrounding territory. Okay, he wrote to the American president that if this happens, if there is an atomic bomb destruction, that everything will get destroyed, and even the neighboring surrounding territories, the neighboring countries, the neighboring territories will also get destroyed and spoiled out completely. His words did not fail to have an effect. The Americans developed the atomic bomb in a secret project of their own and dropped it on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. Children, in geography and social studies, we have read about this destruction in Japan in the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It was a very wide and deep destruction that had happened. Okay, till date, people really shiver on remembering that scene. Einstein was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction. Okay, he was totally shattered, he was disheartened, he was amazed to see that. This time he wrote a public missive to the United States. In it, he proposed the formation of a world government. He said that a government should be made, a set of rules should be made that should be followed. There should be something right, something illegal, something legal. Unlike the letter to Roosevelt, this one made no impact. No impact means nothing could be changed due to this letter. It was useless. It was not impactful. But over the next decade, Einstein got even more involved in politics. In further years, in future years, he was so much amazed on seeing the surroundings, the destructive things happening around, that he got much more involved in the political situations at that time. His popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. No, sorry, agitating. Agitating means forcing for an end to the arms. Arms means these weapons. Build up and using his popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. Okay, democracy as in freedom. We live now in a democratic country where we have a democracy, we have a set of constitution, we have constitutional laws. When Einstein died in 1955 at the age of 76, he was celebrated as a visionary. Visionary means somebody who has a very good vision, who sees something which with very good intellectual ideas. His ideas, his vision is very true and deep. And world as a citizen as much as scientific genius. Okay, people remembered him as a good human, somebody who raised his voice for democracy, and as well he was a scientific genius. That was a god gift. Okay, so this was the complete story regarding Albert Einstein. This was the whole thing, that how he started, what he became, how he became, and how his life came to an end. Okay, do go through it, children, and do complete these question answers given in your notebooks.